All right. Last week, we did some golf ball trivia. This week, I'm going to get a wood. We'll get a couple drivers out just to show you a couple things. I always find this is pretty neat. So, yep, there's that's a 7. Oh, there we go. There's the driver. A driver. Okay. So you can see they used to call this a 1 wood. Why? Because it has a 1 on the bottom and it's made of wood. Highly technical. Highly technical. 1 wood. So it's kind of cool. So right here, so they have this piece of wood that they've carved, and then they carve out a place where they put an insert. So they glue that in there, or a lot of times they'll put screws in this. So they say when you hit it on the screws, it means you hit it right in the center of the club face, so it goes even farther, whatever, you know, fancy lingo from way back when. But this was made out of a piece of wood, and they put a sole plate on it right here. So there's weight down here, there's here. Now, it's a little closer here. Now this right here, can you hear that? This is actually a little thin string that they call whipping. So they take the whipping and they start here and they start wrapping it and go all the way up the shaft here to here, because if not, if you didn't have the whipping on here, this would come down and there'd be the wood would start and there'd be a big chunk sticking out. It just didn't look good. So they put the whipping on here to make it look like it's one smooth thing. So if you have a so here's a club that has a graphite shaft. This is a metal head. And then instead of the whipping, you see this little black thing. This is called a ferrule. So the ferrule helps to keep that, you know, make it look like it's more one smooth piece going in there. So it's just a modern day version of the whipping. A little different, I know, but you know, there's no different type of face and everything. So a lot of these were made of persimmon. So persimmon was actually the root of a persimmon tree is what they would use to shape the heads in golf. Pretty cool. And back when golf first started, the shaft here was also made of wood. Now it's made of either steel, I've seen them made of aluminum, I've seen them made of graphite, so all kinds of different things. And then you've got your grip. Now, as early as probably, I don't know, 80 years ago, the grips were this long. So a person could have their hands way down here and they could move it all the way down here. So the grip was really, really long. Now they're a lot shorter. So a little bit of history there, not really trivia, but a little bit of history. You can see how cool the wood looks on there. And, ooh, hold on one second. I'm gonna go grab my special club.
He is gone.
Okay, so see this right here? Now this is really cool. When I talked about the screws earlier, see the screws here? So if you hit it in the center, that was called hitting it on the screws. Now this is a driver that has never been hit. So it's a really cool, it's my favorite piece of like old history that I have. It's a 1 wood, it's made by Powerbuilt. It was called a Citation, but it was a beautiful piece of wood that's never, ever, ever been hit. Once again, they have the whipping on there. Still has the original plastic cover on the grip. So pretty awesome piece of history there. Okay, who's ready for trivia time? Last week we did superheroes and superheroes and supervillains. Now I'm gonna have to tell you, the birdie class on Wednesday afternoon ended up with the most superheroes and supervillains of all the classes. They even beat the Eagle, the oldest level kids. The oldest kids actually had the least amount of superheroes and villains. So you guys beat the oldest kids on there. So good job with that last week. This week, we're going to do something new, something different, some trivia of some sort. Anybody know what it is? Anybody? No? Yes? No? Yes? Okay. All right.
Superheroes?
Push-ups, what?
I mean superheroes.
You want to do push-ups?
I mean superheroes.
We're not going to do superheroes this week. Okay, so I want somebody to tell me when you play golf. So we're going to do some little bit of golf rules trivia. When you play golf, if you take a swing at the ball and try to hit it and you miss, does it count as a shot?
Let's go with Harper.
Yes.
You're right, it does count as a shot. If you swing and miss, sometimes we call that a whiff. If you whiff it, it still counts as a shot. True or false? The person who shoots has the least amount of shots in the entire round is the winner.
Ava.
Yes.
That is correct. Okay, let's see. How many major championships are there in golf? We talked about this probably in the first or second week. How many majors are there?
I know it's not Layla, but that's the name on the thing.
It's Gavin.
Gavin. Okay, sorry.
4.
4. Awesome job with that. Good job. So they won't have the British Open or the Open Championship this year. So this year we're only going to have 3. That's kind of a bummer, but is what it is. So that's the first year in a long, long time that they won't have the Open Championship. Okay. Does anybody know who has won the most major championships in the history of golf? And I'm going to give you a hint. Tiger Woods is second on the list. He's not first.
Nicholas.
Master.
No, who's won the most majors?
Your name is a big hint.
The person has the same his last name is your first name. All right, let's go to Harper or Charlotte Wood. You know the answer? Let's go to Harper.
Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear, the man, the myth, the legend. He has 18 major championships, and Tiger's just a couple behind him. So hopefully when they get back to playing, maybe he makes a run at tying or passing him. It'd be pretty cool. If he actually passes Jack Nicklaus, and doesn't win any other golf tournaments besides the majors to pass Jack, he'll also have the most majors and the most PGA Tour wins in history. There was a guy by the name of Sam Snead that has the most. He was a character. Whew. We'll have to tell you stories about him someday. It'll take a while, though. Okay. I got to think of something new here. Ooh. They were called the Big Three in golf. This was way back when. And this was Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Arnold Palmer. Those 3 guys were the Big Three in golf. The most. So it was like over, I think, a 6 or 7 year stretch. One of those 3 guys won the Masters every year. So they were pretty good. Good friends, great competitors. And it's pretty cool. But before that, there was a Big Three. So this is more history than trivia. The Big Three before that was Sam Snead, who I just told you about, has the most wins ever, Ben Hogan, and Byron Nelson. So if you guys want to do something cool and look up some history on those guys, really, really awesome. So just a couple like historical facts. Byron Nelson won 11 straight tournaments way back in, I think it was the 1950s. 11 straight tour events. That's unheard of. I mean, I think Tiger won 4 or 5 in a row at one point, but 11 straight, that's pretty incredible. And he won 19 tournaments that year. That was amazing. So that's Byron Nelson. considered one of the greatest gentlemen ever in the game of golf. Then you've got Ben Hogan, the Hawk, the wee Iceman, as they called him, because he had the stare. His eyes were very serious. He was very focused. So people thought he may have been mean or grumpy or whatever, but he was just very focused. Now, he was in a horrific car accident. Him and his wife are driving back to Texas, coming up to a bridge. Here comes a bus. The bus driver fell asleep, came into his lane, and Ben Hogan, as the bus is coming in, throws himself across his wife to save her, and the steering wheel that he was just holding on to, that he let go of to dive on his wife, went through the seat where he was sitting. His leg was really badly mangled and the doctor said, "You'll never walk again." But he showed perseverance. He said, "I'm not going to be told that I can't do something." So he went through rehab. He worked hard, and he came back, and he won in 1953. He won the Masters. Then he won the U.S. Open, and he only played in the British Open one time, and it was that year. And he went across and played in the British Open. And they say if his legs would have held out and he could have got back and played in the PGA Championship, people still feel that he would have won all 4 majors in the same year, but he didn't. But he won the first 3 legs of the Grand Slam that year, which was pretty incredible after coming off a serious car accident where the doctors told him he would never walk again. So you want to talk about perseverance and never giving up. He had a dream. He had a desire to be a champion, and he worked his tail off to get to that point. So that's pretty awesome. You want to talk about an absolute prime example of what it shows perseverance? There's a good one right there. Telling somebody that you're never going to walk again. Next thing you know, you go out and win 3 major championships. Pretty cool. So that's something, if you get a chance to go on, talk to your parents, they can go back and look at this. But Ben Hogan, Byron Nelson, and Sam Snead, the threesome of that time, that was just so great. And then after them, it was Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player were the next 3 great players. So pretty cool history there if you can go back and watch some footage on YouTube of those guys. Just amazing players, amazing players, true legends in the game. So cool stuff. All right, so perseverance. Don't ever give up. Even when people tell you that, oh, you can't do that, or whatever, you're too small, you're too big, you're too whatever, don't listen to them. If you got the heart of a champion, go after it. You can do whatever. So it's raining outside, so play a little 3-knock inside the house. See who the best putter is out there, and we will see you guys next week. Anybody have any questions for me? Maybe we'll do some cartoon trivia next time.
Nicholas has a question, and he's changed his name to Jack Nicklaus.
There you go, bud.
Yeah.
You have a question?
I saw those videos of you. Do we have more on YouTube?
The playing lessons with Coach B?
Yeah.
So those are going to be coming out here soon. We've filmed several of them, and we're going to film some more. And so those should be out. Coach David, are you on here?
What was the question?
When we're going to post the playing videos with Coach B?
Are there any more videos with Coach B? Yes.
No, when are we going to, the one we did the coming soon on, do you know what day we're going to post those?
I don't. It'll probably be the week after next.
Okay. So we're still wrapping up some of the video production on those, and those will be out for you to watch here pretty soon.
Now I've got more to shoot, so you can have tons of content to go in and look at, and then go out and try your best to just implement what I've been talking about. So just give it a try, have fun with it. That's the most important thing. It's a game, have fun.
You guys have a great week. Hope you have a lot of fun playing 3-knock around the house, and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon and see you next week.
All right, bye everybody. Have a great week.